The air hung crisp and still, a velvet cloak woven with the scent of distant pine and the promise of snow. It was a night of hushed anticipation at the small, elegant station nestled deep within the heart of the Swiss Alps. A gentle, almost imperceptible shimmer of frost dusted the cobblestone platform, catching the faint glow from the ornate gas lamps that lined the tracks. Each lamp, a beacon of warm, buttery light, cast a soft, golden pool, illuminating the delicate dance of snowflakes that had just begun to fall. These were not hurried, frantic flakes, but tiny crystalline whispers, descending with a languid grace from the inky canvas of the sky. Each one unique, each one contributing to the growing softness underfoot, they seemed to float rather than fall, caught in the gentle currents of the mountain air. The station itself was a masterpiece of old-world charm, built from dark, polished wood and sturdy gray stone. Its gabled roof, already lightly powdered with fresh snow, seemed to sigh contentedly under the weight of the coming winter. The intricate carvings on the wooden eaves, though subtle, spoke of a time when craftsmanship was revered, when every detail was imbued with care and purpose. The heavy oak doors, slightly ajar, offered glimpses of a warm, inviting interior, perhaps a small waiting room with a crackling fireplace. A large, antique clock, its face a serene ivory, chimed softly, the sound echoing briefly in the quiet night before being absorbed by the vast, silent mountains that loomed on all sides. These mountains, colossal and ancient, were dark silhouettes against the faint starlight, their peaks dusted with an ethereal glow that hinted at the pristine, untouched wilderness beyond. They stood as silent, majestic guardians, their presence both humbling and profoundly comforting, promising both solitude and protection. Only a handful of passengers waited on the platform, their figures bundled in thick wool and cashmere, their breaths misting delicately in the cold. There was no hurried bustle, no frantic rush. Instead, a sense of tranquil patience permeated the air, a shared understanding that this journey was not merely a means to an end, but an experience to be savored, a gentle transition into a world of serene slumber. Each person stood quietly, perhaps lost in their own thoughts, or simply absorbing the profound peace of the alpine night. The soft murmur of hushed conversations, like distant streams, occasionally broke the silence, only to recede once more into the pervasive calm. A woman in a long, dark coat adjusted her scarf, her movements slow and deliberate. A gentleman with a leather satchel gazed up at the falling snow, a faint smile playing on his lips. Everyone seemed to be in a state of quiet contemplation, preparing for the journey inward as much as outward. A low, resonant hum began to vibrate through the ground, a deep, comforting thrum that grew steadily. It was the sound of the Midnight Express, approaching with a majestic, unhurried grace. A single, powerful beam of light pierced the darkness in the distance, growing larger and brighter with each passing moment, cutting a path through the falling snow. The hum intensified, evolving into a rhythmic, hypnotic chugging, a lullaby of steel on steel that promised warmth and rest. The sound was not intrusive, but rather a gentle invitation, a promise of movement and comfort, a deep, reassuring rumble that settled into the very core of your being. It was the sound of a grand machine, yet one that moved with the utmost gentleness. Slowly, grandly, the train glided into the station. It was a vision of polished brass and deep, forest-green carriages, each window glowing with a soft, inviting light. The brass gleamed under the gaslight, reflecting the falling snow in 1,000 tiny sparkles, like scattered diamonds. Steam billowed gently from its sides, curling upwards into the cold air like ephemeral ghosts, carrying with it the faint, comforting scent of coal and warm metal. The train seemed to breathe, a living entity ready to carry its precious cargo into the heart of the sleeping mountains. Its arrival was not an interruption to the night's tranquility, but an elegant continuation, a silent invitation to a journey of repose. The sheer length of the train, stretching far down the platform, spoke of a grand adventure, yet one undertaken with the utmost care and quietude. The doors hissed open with a soft, almost reverent sigh, revealing interiors bathed in the same warm, amber glow that emanated from the windows. A porter, impeccably dressed in a dark uniform, stood by the first-class carriage, a gentle smile on his face. His movements were fluid and unhurried, his voice a low, soothing murmur as he greeted each passenger. There was no need for haste, no urgency in his gestures. Every action was deliberate, designed to ease the transition from the cold platform to the cozy sanctuary within. He offered a subtle nod, a silent acknowledgement of the shared desire for peace, his eyes reflecting the soft light of the lamps. His presence was reassuring, a quiet guide into the comfort that awaited. As you stepped towards the train, the cold air brushed against your face one last time, a final, gentle farewell from the alpine night. The scent of pine and snow was still present, but now it mingled with the richer, deeper aromas emanating from the train, the subtle perfume of polished wood, the faint, sweet hint of brewing tea, and the clean, crisp smell of fresh linen. It was an olfactory symphony designed to calm and comfort, to prepare the senses for the journey ahead. Each scent was a layer of welcome, a soft embrace, drawing you deeper into the train's tranquil world. The cold outside seemed to sharpen the appreciation for the warmth within. Your hand found the cool, smooth brass railing as you ascended the short steps. The sensation was grounding, a tangible connection to the sturdy elegance of the Midnight Express. With each step, the sounds of the platform began to recede, replaced by the gentle murmur of the train's internal mechanisms, a soft, rhythmic pulse that promised a journey into profound relaxation. The porter offered a polite nod, his eyes holding a silent understanding of the peace you sought. You felt a subtle shift, a shedding of the day's concerns as you crossed the threshold, leaving the outside world behind. The soft carpet underfoot muffled your steps, adding to the sense of quiet luxury. Inside, the carriage was a haven of understated luxury. Plush velvet seats, in shades of deep emerald and sapphire, invited you to sink into their embrace. The fabric was soft to the touch, yielding gently, promising hours of comfortable repose. The walls were paneled with rich, dark wood, gleaming softly under the warm light of the small, shaded lamps. Each lamp was designed to cast a gentle, diffused glow, ensuring no harsh light would disturb the tranquil atmosphere. The windows, large and perfectly clean, offered tantalizing glimpses of the snowy landscape, now framed like living paintings, each one a masterpiece of winter's artistry. The entire space exuded a quiet elegance, a timeless beauty that soothed the eye and calmed the spirit. You found your compartment, a private sanctuary designed for ultimate comfort. The door slid open with a whisper, revealing a space that felt both intimate and expansive. A soft, thick rug cushioned your steps, absorbing any sound, making your entrance almost silent. The air within was subtly warmed, a perfect contrast to the crisp chill outside, carrying a faint, pleasant aroma of cedar and something subtly floral, perhaps lavender. It was an aroma that spoke of cleanliness and calm, a gentle invitation to unwind, to simply be. The quiet hum of the train was barely audible here, a distant, comforting presence. The berth was already prepared, a cloud of pristine white linen and plump, inviting pillows. The sheets were cool and smooth against your fingertips, promising a refreshing rest. A heavy, woven blanket lay folded at the foot of the bed, promising warmth and security, its texture soft and comforting. Beside the window, a small, polished wooden table held a delicate ceramic cup and a small, steaming pot of herbal tea, its gentle fragrance already beginning to fill the air. A single, unlit candle sat beside it, waiting to cast its soft, flickering light should you desire it, a silent promise of deeper tranquility. A small, leather-bound book, its cover a deep burgundy, lay beside the tea, hinting at quiet stories and gentle dreams. You gently placed your small bag on the luggage rack above, the soft thud barely disturbing the profound quiet of the compartment. There was no need to unpack, no urgency to arrange anything. This space was ready for you, a cocoon of comfort designed to ease you into a state of deep repose. The subtle vibrations of the train, still stationary, were a gentle prelude to the journey, a promise of rhythmic motion that would soon lull you into slumber. You felt a deep sense of contentment, a quiet joy in this simple, perfect moment, a feeling of being exactly where you needed to be, Taking a deep, slow breath, you allowed your shoulders to relax, feeling the tension of the day begin to melt away. The world outside, with its demands and distractions, seemed to recede with each passing moment. Here, within the elegant confines of the Midnight Express, there was only peace, only the gentle invitation to let go. The soft glow from the lamps, the subtle warmth, the faint, comforting aromas, all conspired to create an atmosphere of perfect tranquility. Each sensation was a step deeper into calm, a surrender to the soothing embrace of the night. You settled into the plush velvet seat by the window, gazing out at the station platform. The snowflakes continued their silent descent, each one a tiny, intricate marvel. The other passengers were now mostly boarded, and the platform looked even more serene, almost deserted. The clock on the station wall continued its steady, unhurried march, marking time in a world that seemed to slow down just for you. A profound sense of calm began to settle over you, a deep, pervasive peace that seeped into every fiber of your being. It was a peace that promised rest, a quiet assurance that all was well, a gentle lullaby for the soul. As the final door hissed shut, a soft, almost imperceptible jolt ran through the train. It was a gentle signal, a quiet announcement that the journey was about to begin. The rhythmic chugging outside the window began to soften, becoming a more distant, muffled sound. The station lights, once so clear, started to blur slightly as the train began to move, slowly at first, then with a gathering, graceful momentum. The world outside transformed into a soft, impressionistic painting of light and shadow, of snow and dark trees, each stroke a gentle invitation to dream, to let go, to simply be carried. The gentle sway of the carriage began, a subtle rocking motion that was instantly soothing. It was like being cradled, gently rocked by an unseen hand. The sounds of the train became a continuous, low hum, punctuated by the soft, rhythmic click-clack of the wheels on the tracks. This sound, once a distant promise, was now a close, comforting reality, a steady heartbeat accompanying you into the night. The journey had truly begun, a journey not just across the Swiss Alps, but into the quiet depths of your own peaceful mind. You felt the subtle shift, the effortless movement carrying you away from the day's concerns, into a realm of pure, unadulterated calm. You closed your eyes for a moment, letting the gentle motion and the rhythmic sounds wash over you. The warmth of the compartment enveloped you, a soft, protective embrace. When you opened them again, the station was a distant cluster of twinkling lights, fading rapidly into the vast, snowy expanse. The mountains, once dark silhouettes, now seemed to draw closer, their snow-capped peaks gleaming faintly under the moon, silent guardians of your tranquil passage. The Midnight Express was carrying you deeper and deeper into the heart of a sleeping world, a world where only peace and rest awaited. Each moment was a step further into serenity, each breath a deeper surrender to the calm. The journey had begun, and with it, the promise of profound, restorative sleep. Part 2. The cabin. The gentle sway of the Midnight Express continued, a rhythmic dance that resonated through the very core of the train. It was a motion designed to soothe, to lull, to transport not just the body, but the mind, into a state of profound tranquility. You were no longer merely a passenger. You were a part of this moving sanctuary, cradled within its warm embrace as it glided effortlessly through the silent, snowy landscape. The subtle undulation of the carriage was a constant, gentle reminder of your journey, yet it never disturbed the profound peace that had begun to settle over you. The train's movement was a soft, continuous caress, a gentle rocking that eased every muscle and calmed every nerve. Your compartment, a private haven, felt even more inviting now that the journey had truly begun. The soft, amber light from the shaded lamps cast a warm, diffused glow, highlighting the rich textures of the room. The polished wooden panels on the walls seemed to absorb and reflect the light, creating a sense of depth and warmth. You traced the intricate grain of the wood with your eyes, noticing the subtle variations in color, the tiny imperfections that told a story of craftsmanship and time. Each panel was a testament to a bygone era, an age when travel was an art and comfort was paramount. The wood itself seemed to breathe, exuding a faint, comforting scent that mingled with the other gentle aromas of the cabin. The very air felt soft, imbued with a quiet luxury that invited deep relaxation. The plush velvet seat where you had first settled now felt like an extension of your own relaxation. Its deep emerald hue was calming, a color that evoked the ancient forests that lined the valleys outside. You leaned back, feeling the soft give of the cushions, allowing your muscles to unwind, one by one. The subtle vibrations of the train hummed beneath you, a constant, gentle massage that further eased any lingering tension. The fabric of the seat was cool against your skin, yet held a promise of warmth, a perfect balance that invited deeper repose. You could feel the subtle texture of the velvet beneath your fingertips, a soft, luxurious sensation, a silent invitation to sink deeper into its embrace. It was a seat designed not just for sitting, but for dreaming. On the small, polished wooden table beside you, the delicate ceramic cup still held the steaming herbal tea. Its aroma, a blend of chamomile and a hint of mint, was a soft, comforting presence in the air. You reached for it, your fingers brushing against the warm, smooth surface of the cup. The warmth spread through your hands, then up your arms, a pleasant sensation that mirrored the internal warmth blooming within you. You took a slow, deliberate sip. The tea was mild, soothing, its gentle flavor a perfect complement to the quietude of the moment. Each swallow was a small act of self-care, a conscious step towards deeper relaxation, a liquid lullaby for your senses. The warmth of the tea spread through your chest, a gentle, comforting heat, melting away any remaining chill from the outside world. It was a taste of pure tranquility. The unlit candle, a slender pillar of beeswax, sat patiently beside the tea. You considered lighting it, imagining its soft, flickering flame adding another layer of warmth and intimacy to the compartment. But for now, the diffused glow from the lamps was enough, a steady, unwavering light that promised peace without demanding attention. Perhaps later, when the world outside had truly surrendered to the deep night, you would invite its gentle dance, allowing its soft glow to guide you further into slumber. The beeswax itself held a faint, sweet scent, a natural perfume that added to the calming atmosphere, a subtle promise of deeper peace. It stood as a silent sentinel, ready to serve. Your gaze drifted to the window, a large pane of crystal-clear glass that framed the passing world. The snow was falling more steadily now, a thick, silent curtain of white. It danced and swirled in the beam of the train's headlight, a mesmerizing ballet of countless tiny flakes. Beyond the immediate flurry, the landscape was a breathtaking tableau of winter majesty. Towering pine trees, their branches heavy with snow, stood like silent sentinels, their dark forms contrasting sharply with the pristine white ground. Each tree was a monument to nature's enduring beauty, a silent witness to your tranquil journey, their snow-laden boughs creating a soft, undulating pattern against the dark sky. The world outside was a moving painting, constantly shifting, constantly soothing. The moon, a luminous pearl in the velvet sky, cast a soft, silvery light over everything. It illuminated the distant peaks of the Alps, turning them into ethereal giants, their jagged edges softened by the blanket of snow. The valleys below were deep, mysterious chasms, filled with shadows that hinted at hidden wonders. Occasionally, a small, isolated chalet would appear, its windows glowing with a warm, inviting light, a tiny beacon of human presence in the vast wilderness, then vanish just as quickly, leaving only the endless expanse of snow and sky. The vastness of the landscape was both humbling and liberating, allowing your mind to expand and release its grip on smaller concerns. The moon's light was a gentle caress, a soft blessing on the sleeping world. The rhythmic click-clack of the wheels on the tracks was a constant companion, a steady, hypnotic beat that resonated deep within your chest. It was a sound that spoke of journey, of progress, yet paradoxically, it also spoke of stillness, of being suspended in a moment of perfect peace. It was the sound of time passing, yet time itself seemed to stretch and slow, becoming fluid and unhurried. Each click and each clack was a gentle stroke, painting a picture of calm in your mind, guiding you deeper into relaxation. This sound was the heartbeat of the Midnight Express, a steady, unwavering rhythm that promised safe passage into slumber.